Hi, folks. This is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report. Each week, I like to pass on something that I do because I have the most information about that to give you. And since bass season began, I've been trying to get over to the tributaries where I can wade in the water and fish for smallmouth bass. And granted, these bass on average are very small, and it doesn't matter to me. I love the experience. I love feeling the strike. Well, here's what I have found over the last week. The water in the rivers has been so high because of all the torrential rain that we had and the storms that we had, and it makes it really tough to fish, especially if you're wading. And all those places where I can find the fish when the water's low in the summer, the pools that they congregate in, those pools don't exist. It's just raging water. But what I have been able to find in fishing this early in the season is that I've had far better luck on small, soft plastic baits than small crankbaits. Using the same color, the same size, the soft plastic works a lot better for me. And we'll talk more about that in other reports and why soft plastic is working and what you need to look for. But I still have had a blast trying my luck to find little places where I can cast. And the other thing that I've caught is I've caught a ton of chubs. And we may think, oh, geez, the guy has really gone crazy. If he enjoys going out fishing chubs, well, I do. They're fish that live in the same water area, and they eat the same foods because they're hitting my lures. You'd think they don't seem to have teeth. How are they eating minnows and crayfish? How are they gobbling them up and digesting them? But apparently they can. And these chubs aren't. They're fairly good size. You know, as a kid growing up on a trout stream, if I'd have caught fish this big consistently, I'd have been happy as heck. These chubs are 9, 10, 11, 12 inches. And if you fish the Racket River, there's chubs there that'll go 18 inches. And they're aggressive, and they'll strike. They don't fight very well. But it's still fun to feel the strike, to see the fish come in. And then the challenge becomes, when you hold a chub, it's not like holding anything else. They don't have any horns or sharp fins to hurt you. They got no teeth to bite you. And yet, I don't care how strong you are. It's tough to hold them steady and get the hook. They tend to have a way of wiggling their body in your hand where I will almost challenge you to be able to keep them still enough to get the hook out. And if you hold them too tight, you're going to hurt them. And even though they're not a sport fish, they're nothing that we seem to cherish, they're life forms. They're something that's part of the ecosystem. And just because they aren't the chosen few doesn't mean that their life doesn't matter. And I try really hard not to hurt them and let them back in the water. But I'll be darned if I can hold those fish without them wiggling out of my grip. They have an uncanny ability. But you may never hear me talk about fishing chubs again, but it gave me some fun this last week. Until next time, folks, this is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report.